Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. We haven't even got the hate crime bill up and running yet, and Murdo Fraser is already taking the police to court for a hate crime, but not under the new legislation, under the existing stuff. He's saying that he had a tweet recorded as a non-crime hate incident, but the tweet was merely complaining about the government. And he said that if now complaining about the government is a hate crime, then it effectively destroys opposition. And he wants to take the police to court to have this all reversed. He says it's damaging. It's damaging to him personally, but it's also damaging to democracy. It should not be a hate crime to criticise government. But of course, in Humza Yousaf's world, anything against him or his party must be a hate crime, and you must be punished, because he wants that single party state, the cult of leadership, where the leader can do no wrong, where the party can do no wrong, and where to criticise anything is a crime. Lock them up. Throw away the key. It's North Korea by a back door. Let's take a look to see why Murdo Fraser's case may have massive implications. Here goes. So, Murdo Fraser threatens Police Scotland with legal action in fresh hate crime row. Now, this is under existing legislation, and it's over this event, this tweet he made last year that somebody complained about because they didn't like it. How dare you complain about the glorious SNP? You must be a hater of the SNP. Well, yes, he probably is, what with him being, a Tory. But anyway, the Scottish Conservative MSP was reported to the National Force for a tweet he sent last year, and he believes officers have acted outrageously and unlawfully by recording it as a hate incident. Like I say, it can't be hate if you're just moaning about what the government are doing. Because if that's the way you're going, you might as well give up on having an opposition right now, but make it a single party state. Murdo Fraser could take Police Scotland to court after the National Force logged a tweet of his criticising the Scottish Government as a hate incident. Not a crime, you understand. It's not a crime. But they've logged it. Oh, it's a hate incident. It's very insidious, isn't it? The Scottish Conservative MSP accused officers of acting outrageously and unlawfully. His name appears on police files after a trans activist reported his message to the police. While officers concluded the tweet did not break the law, they did decide to class it as a hate incident that will remain on record. Names in the book. Don't tell him, Pike. It's very much like this, isn't it? Papier and Bitter will be coming next. The SS. The police are becoming the SS, aren't they? The Gestapo of the SNP. The report followed Mr Fraser sharing a column by women's rights campaigner Susan Dalgetty that was critical of the SNP government's non-binary equality action plan. She said children could be damaged by this cult. She, of course, is 100% correct, as anyone with half a brain knows. Mr Fraser said on the social media site X, choosing to identify as non-binary is as valid as choosing to identify as a cat. I'm not sure governments should be spending time on action plans for either. Yeah, non-binary doesn't exist. Non-binary is just what you call yourself if you're ugly and want to, feel special. The tweet was reported by an activist claiming it was an example of hatred against non-binary or transgender people, which it isn't, of course. It's just common sense and reality. Mr Fraser, who represents Mid Scotland and Fife, has teamed up with the Free Speech Union and will consider legal action if the incident is not deleted, reports the Daily Mail. Quite right too. Absolutely. And sue them and make sure that whoever is responsible for putting it on, as well as the inspector for whom he answers to, are suitably punished, either financially or by loss of job. Let's put the fear back. He said Police Scotland has behaved not just outrageously, but unlawfully according to the legal advice obtained by the Free Speech Union. This is Police Scotland attacking free speech, but it is more sinister than that, and he's right. He says, my tweet wasn't pointing a finger at an individual, it was critical of the Scottish Government policy. If police are now treating criticism of SNP policy as hate incidents, that is a really serious issue, as it shows how Police Scotland has been captured by the SNP policy agenda. SNP now control the police. The police are the Gestapo, the thought police, the action police of the SNP. And to criticise the SNP is now, as far as the police are concerned, something that needs to be investigated as a potential crime, or at the very least, your name is going in the book. They've got your card marked. This is very, very bad. The issue has come to light a week before the SNP's controversial Hate Crime Act will be enforced by Police Scotland. Officers are set to be overwhelmed with reports amid fears campaigners will use it as a weapon to silence critics. And we are using it as a weapon to fight against the SNP government. Report, report, report. Use this to stop shit like this happening. Use it. Bang, bang, bang. Politicians all day, every day. 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. I've got more followers than there are police in Scotland, or as near as damn it. So let's make us, let us make them work and make them realise what a terrible law this is. But it's got to be against the politicians. All day, every day. Politician, politician, politician. Make them pay. Police Scotland, created by the SNP and owned by the SNP since 2013, has insisted it will record every report. It can say record. It actually has to investigate. The law is specific. Mr. Fraser said he only found out about the police report when the same complainers reported him to the Ethical Standards Commissioner for the Scottish Parliament. He wrote to Chief Constable Joe Farrell in December last year, asking for a meeting to discuss the matter. He received a response from the local area commander for Perth and Kinross earlier this month that confirmed the hate incident had been recorded, and while there was no criminality, it would remain on record. It's bad and it's wrong. If no incident of crime has occurred, that should be the end of it. You shouldn't be having names in books because you said something. How dare they? I want that. Any cop, report the cop for hate. It's a hate crime. You're targeting an individual who has yet to break the law. Mr. Fraser believes the filing of the hate incident breaches Article 10 of the European Convention on Human Rights, which states that everyone has the right to freedom of expression. And of course, the European Convention on Human Rights sits well above Scottish law. The MSP has told police they have acted on the basis of a policy that is disproportionate, discriminatory, intrusive, irrational, and otherwise unlawful. A Police Scotland spokesman said on Monday, November 20th, 2023, officers received a report of an offensive tweet. It was not offensive. Inquiries were carried out and no criminality was established. The incident was recorded as a non-crime hate incident. Hate incidents are not recorded against alleged perpetrators. That, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolute load of bollocks. It is a clear lie. Hate incidents do have the alleged perpetrator's name attached to them. And it shouldn't. But the Gestapo now, Police Gestapo in Scotland, will now be officially the political police for the SNP going forward. So don't just complain about politicians. Hate crime from the police. Everything you see, every time they do something, report the police as a hate crime. Hate crime, hate crime, hate crime. 2-3 times a day. Coming up. Now, Murdo Fraser is 100% correct. If criticising the SNP government is a hate crime and you can be prosecuted and jailed for it, there is no more democracy in Scotland. And if you have a police force owned by the SNP, controlled by the SNP, who are going to monitor you and arrest you and record stuff against you because you dared to criticise their paymasters, then Scotland is no different from 1930s Germany. Hamza Yousaf is no different from the little Austrian. They are all sitting there in their bunker preparing slaughterhouses and concentration camps, because that has got to be the way it's going once you start getting to that level of control, monolithic state control. It's got to be fought. It's got to be resisted. And remember, don't. We can't be on our knees. We stand. Hashtag we stand. Thank you. I'm finishing. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, and definitely stand and fight this one. This is the worst. But we will win, because we are many and they are few. Till next time, goodbye.